Hey, good morning, everybody. You know what upsets me? Really upsets me bad. You've got these alleged educated people in political offices. Most of them are lawyers, which I don't know what that means. I think it means that you become intellectually stupid. That's what I think it means. Anyway, you got all these educated people holding political offices. They're voted into those positions. And they don't understand some of the basic characteristics or elements of life. And one of those things they don't understand is the distinct difference between natural laws, natural rights, and political legislation. They're always trying to blur that line, but it's a distinct line. It's a very specific, distinct line, and our founding fathers knew that, and that's why they set it up the way they did. To draw a distinct line in the sand between the laws of nature, nature's God, those unalienable rights endowed by our Creator, and political legislation. There's a definite line there. They want to blur it, they want to cross it, they want to erase it. And that, excuse me, and that really pisses me off. I want you to just, and maybe you have, if you have, okay. But if you haven't, just take the time and go through the Bill of Rights. And as it's been said hundreds and hundreds and probably thousands of times, the Bill of Rights that were placed on paper do not give us rights. That's not our permit to exercise those rights. Those are documented rights to remind the government to keep your filthy, scumbag, tyrannical hands off. You filthy dirtbags. That's what it's for. Our founding fathers experienced that firsthand. Firsthand, that's why they wrote those amendments in there for our protection. To remind the government, hey, here's the big middle finger. Keep your filthy dirtbag hands off. Oh, but no, they don't want to do that. They call themselves, liberals, progressives. And there's a lot of Republicans the same way. They gotta stick their nose in every aspect of our existence. But they don't want us to know what they're doing behind the scenes. That's why I'll say it again, I'm not anti-government, but I hate governments. They build up barriers, walls, to protect them from us seeing what they're actually doing. And when we actually find out what they're doing, then it's too late, and they've gained a little bit more control over us. Well, here's the big finger, folks. Just go through the Bill of Rights one at a time, and it clearly says rights, 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 the right of the people, rights, rights, rights. That does not mean we need a permit. Take the First Amendment. Do you need a permit to exercise your freedom of religion? No. Do you need a permit to exercise your freedom of the press? No. Do you need a permit from some governmental entity to express your grievances against the government? No. Okay, so why, when it gets to the Second Amendment, they want to talk about you need a permit? No, you don't. No, you don't. Third Amendment, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, Ninth, 10. You don't need a permit for any of that stuff. Why? Because it's your natural right. Stupid is as stupid does, and the stupid keeps getting more stupid. All tyrants can think about is, well, let's see. I got to justify my existence, so I'm going to pass this regulation. I want to pass this new policy. I want to pass this new bill. I want to pass this new law. And all they do is sit behind a freaking desk and think of things. They can justify their existence. And all the while, it's just chipping away at our natural rights. Disconnect, people. You got to disconnect as much as possible. Disconnect. I can't stress that enough. As I said, they call themselves progressives and liberals. To progress to what? What are you progressing to? You're not progressing to nothing. You're going right back into the medieval times of tyrants, dictators. What are you progressing to? The only thing you're progressing to is to have more power over us. Well, you're not going to do it. You're just not going to do it. Liberty or death. When that statement was made, there's no gray area. There's no compromise. There's no negotiation. It's liberty or death. Liberty or death. I wish I could say what I'm thinking right now on this video. But I think if you read into my words enough, you'll know what I'm thinking. They need these political tyrants need a real backwoods education in natural law. I'll put it that way. Yeah. A real, authentic backwoods education in natural law. Yeah. Now, you can interpret that the way you want to. Yeah, interpret that the way you want to, because I know how I mean it. I even like the sound of it. I want to say it again. They need a backwoods education in natural law. Yeah, I like the ring of that. I like the way it sounds. I like the way it smells. I like the way it feels. Yeah. They've had their education in academic institutions, right? And they came out stupid. I've got an education. I regret even doing it. But I've got a associate's degree, I got a bachelor's degree, I got a master's degree. And you know what? I could wipe my butt cheeks with all of them. I wish I would have never committed myself to that. But I did. I was caught up in the system. Yeah, the system. Thinking somehow it was going to benefit me. Well, I guess it did in one way. I don't know. But like I said, better off to just wipe my butt cheeks with them. So anyway, they've got all these credentials from academic institutions, but they're stupid. They're really stupid. So, let me say that again. They need a backwoods education in natural law. God, I like the way that read. Another thing I want to say before I close out this video. The NRA. The NRA. Why do we need an NRA? Well, because they fight for us politically. That's not why the Second Amendment was ratified and placed in there. We defend our rights. We defend our rights. And how do we defend our rights? We just ignore all the BS that's coming from D.C. or some state government. We just ignore it. and you got 100 million people that's gun owners that just totally ignore. What are they going to do? What are they going to do with this? But the NRA, it sounds flowery, it sounds good, it sounds like, they can help. Do they really help? All their alleged help, there's still regulations out there. The ATF is still stepping on your toes. And as far as I'm concerned, the ATF should be abolished. But the NRA can't get the ATF abolished. The ATF is still sticking their nose in every crack and crevice that they can in our life. I can't stand them. I know it's a law enforcement agency, but it's a federal law enforcement agency, and I can't stand them. Anyway, the NRA. You ever looked up the salaries of the CEO of the NRA? Are you kidding me? They make anywhere from $500,000 to over $1 million a year. To me, I've never joined the NRA, and I'll never join the NRA. I'm not going to commit myself to giving them an offering to keep their cult going. That's all it is a cult. It's a political cult where the CEO can draw $500,000 to over $1 million a year. Why? Well, because they found a way to scam the people and get rich. And I know you can bring up all kind of cases. Well, they fought here and they won. They fought there and they won. You know what? Those are just little scratches on the surface. Look what's happened in Virginia. Yeah, they pushed back, but look what's happened. Like I said, they need an education in the backwoods on natural law. That's the only thing that's going to work. Because it's, tyrannical politicians are like weeds. They just pop up everywhere. I don't care how hard you try to keep them out. Those weeds just keep popping up. And why on God's green earth does a CEO of an organization need to make $500,000 to over $1 million a year? Why? It's like preachers. What preacher is worth, standing behind a pulpit, what preacher is worth what he's paid? They're multimillionaires. They live like rock stars. That's not a servant to the people. No, that's not a servant at all. Why can't they live off of a regular wage like the average American worker? Okay, 100,000, 150,000 a year, okay. And then put that money somewhere else. No, they gotta live like rock stars. They gotta live like celebrities. Yeah, they make me sick. The idea of a servant to the people is lost, completely lost. Everybody tries to find a way to scam the public to become wealthy. Tell me what actor or actress is worth the money that they get paid. It's all fake. It's all freaking fake. You got all these other people making this movie come together. It's not just the actor or the actress. You got a host of people putting this movie together to make it look like what it does on screen. They're not worth that much money. They're just people. They poop and piss just like all of us. Their lives are upside down, worse than any of us. What politician can go into office making what, $174,000, $175,000 a year, and come out mega millionaires? What? Can't we see the picture here? It's all about power and money. And they make me sick. I have no respect for them whatsoever. None of them. I'm not against capitalism. If you have a legitimate way to make money, that's okay. But what are you really worth? And then when they get this financial power behind them, then they think they're better than everybody else. And that presents a real problem because they're not better than nobody. There's nothing wrong with having money if you can maintain dignity, integrity, and humility. But they can't do it. Very few can do it. Very, very few can do it. They walk around like they're, don't stink. Well, it does. Okay, that's enough rambling on for now. Till next time, God bless. I'm out of here.